Hi everybody, it's Cherie from Paper Pieces and Leftovers, and I was asked to do this file, which is going to be called Lights, Camera, Action from MarjorieAnnDesigns.com. And Kim, I'm gonna preface this video with two things. You need to get this. This is an embossing folder. I believe it's pinned to my comments. Well, the pin to my Facebook page. If you go to the comments, this is in there. This is a must-have. 4th of July, birthdays, my favorite embossing folder for those occasions. I embossed the star because it's a star, but I wanted to show you this. This is going to be important. What I did is I lined up all those little yellow dots with my black piece, and I attached them so it came out cut when I centered it. And I duplicated the black piece before doing so, and I made it yellow. That way I didn't have to glue on 1,000 dots. So in the meantime, I'm going to glue this, and I'm going to fill in each hole with my Nuvo drops. It is the Crystal Drops in the color Dandelion Yellow. And it is right here. So I'm going to glue this down, and in each little hole, I am going to put my Nuvo drop. And I'm going to let that dry, and I will be back with piecing her together so you can follow along. I just kind of wanted to give you a kickstart of what you'll need if you want a copy, because I know that you like to scrap lift from me, which I love, and I love to help. So go ahead and grab those, and you might have to wait to make the piece, at least finish these two while you order this, and I'll be back. All right, everybody, and welcome to my mess. I know I'm out of screen, but I have a whole lot of pieces to work with for this file. And Kim, I know it's that you want to see what I do with it, not how to necessarily put it together. So let's start with the bigger pieces, because that is a must. And this is just regular cardstock that's embossed. We're gonna just sloppily add some glue so it stays. Art glitter glue for the win. I've inked my edges of my star. Let me move it up. All right. And we are just gonna use a bone folder to evenly distribute that glue. So here is our finished star. Okay, we're gonna set that aside. And let's do the next little star. Actually, let me clean this up because I noticed that it didn't completely cut. And so I just tore it off out of irritation, I guess. Me impatient. Now this one I did not emboss just because it's smaller and it's going to go behind her. It's not a focal point, and that's just my thought, but we will give it some highlight once we get it behind her hair. Let's go ahead and clean up the glue there. I gotta move my light some, sorry. I'm going to stack that on the other one to the side. Now we're going to put her together. She goes together very easily, so you're going to put the shirt down first. I did import her into Cricut Design Space at 13.0 of a width, and I let it auto-adjust the height as usual. And I know I have way more in my screen than usual, and I apologize. It just has a lot of smaller pieces. So now we're going to put her hair on, or her head on. I'm looking at her hair, and that's the word that comes to mind. Don't know why. I'll look at the fridge and say, go to the microwave, even though I'm staring right at the fridge. But I guess that's what happens after you've had 2 heart attacks. I had him watching my daughter get hit by a car, and I was feet away from her. So the doctor said he wouldn't have expected anything less, and I felt helpless, but she's still alive. I love her to death, even though she can be a handful, even at 20, turning 21. She has the mentality of a 12-year-old. We had her tested. It's not some random age that I pulled out of the air. They came to my house, and it took a week for them to do the testing. Her IQ is 68. So she's on the high end of I know that they've renamed it so many times. Hold on, I think Amazon came. I'll be right back. Sorry, y'all, that was Amazon. I had to order some things. This holds your sponge dauber pads. I've had this. This is old. It's just, that's used. That has felt on the top. And what I do is I glue what color they are on the top. And I'm just dropping them. But I had to order more foam pads that weren't domes, just because those domes are a pain in my rump. And then the mini micro ones, which I have a mess over there and I can't get to yet. But anyhow, I had to order more of those because I didn't have any. And the puppies let me know that they were here. So let's add her glasses. Let's do the lenses to the glasses. Move her out of the way. And we'll do all the shading after. This I have not done yet. It looks like it's quite a bit of pieces, but that's okay. I went with a darker gray because we're going to chalk the lenses. I know they used a lighter gray, but I wanted the chalk to show up more. And I thought about using plaque paper, but it was a little too late because I had already started recording and I just didn't feel like changing it. So let's glue on her glasses, and it goes over the hair, so your face and your hair are going to go down, and then your glasses. And they are going to go up a little bit into the hair. I try to center them with the body, but that's just me. But if I center them, then this part's going to be over too far, but that's centered enough for my liking. Let's go ahead and put her nose on. And then we will add her hair. Actually, let me glue the dot onto that and grab the hair piece. Let's put her hat on first. One less piece to play with. After her hair, we will do the horn. I don't remember what it's called. I know in cheerleading they used them all the time, but they were actually annoying. All right, this is going to go to the side a little. And I probably could have did it red, but I didn't. I just followed the colors of the pattern. And that's what a lot of us do when we scrapbook, is we follow the pattern. And we do use the same colors as the pattern. Most of the time. Not all the time, but most. And this is going to go out a little bit. So I'm going to try to make it even on the other side, even though it's not going to show up, I've noticed, because it's going to go behind the star, but that's fine. Only one of them gets a little bow. And that's going to be this one over here on this side, because it's not behind the star. Oh, that was lovely. But it's easy to fix. So what I did is I went ahead and did little round spots with my ink just to kind of highlight the braid, and I'm going to go in and actually use some chalk to lighten that so it stands out more. So now let's hide her behind the star, and it's going to cover her ear and a little under her chin. So let me make sure the stars are upright. Yes. I don't want to go too much with the glue. I'm going to just add it as I flip her over and figure it out. So we're going to eyeball it right there. Good thing I didn't keep going with my glue. Oh no, don't do that. It wasn't dry yet, and I guess I pushed a little too hard. I'm just gonna glue that down. Make sure everything has enough glue under it because I want it to stay. All right, now that we have her all done, I'm gonna move her up and we're gonna work on this. So what I did with this is I used plaque paper, and I am going to use some dots and some foam tape. And this is a last minute decision, so it's not out and about. All right. I got these, you can get them from Joann's. I got them from 12 by, I've gotten 2 packs. I got one from Joann's and one from 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. They are Sticky Thumb. And it says, I think that's American Crafts. Yeah, AC on the top. Dimensional, and they just come in a pack. There's a lot in a pack. Sometimes I use big ones, sometimes I use small ones, and then I just tuck it behind. Did that? I pulled off the paper with that? That's funny. All right, let's pull that off. Now, for the in-between, because I don't want it to sink in, I'm going to cut a thin piece of my foam tape here. Wow, that is really sticky, isn't it? And this one I got from, sorry about that, for some reason it decided to cut off. So what I did is I cut off a piece of this really sticky foam tape from Hobby Lobby, and I added this other foam tape that's not sticking to my plaque paper very well. So I think I am going to end up cutting more of my paper here, my foam tape, just because I'd rather have it stick really well than not at all. And I don't know if it's just because that foam tape I've had for so long. Maybe that's what it is, the circles. Sorry about the motorcycles. I usually record at night and not during the day just because it cuts the noise level down, but it doesn't really matter. I live in California and my street is one of the few streets that head to the freeway, and I think they think our street is a racetrack, but what do I know? So this is gonna line up right under the little grooves here, the little holes that are already cut out, and it's gonna just line up right with those. And now we will add our little silver wheels, and I am gonna glue those on because there's not really enough room to add foam tape to, and art glitter glue sticks to everything. So I cut out this in the black plaque paper, and this is just in the brushed silver. And these are gonna line up also with the little cutouts. So kind of just eyeball that when you glue this down. And I will have to wipe the glue off that once it's dry. I just use a Q-tip with a little dab of water, and it wipes off this really nice, but I'll clean that up later. So then we're gonna do the same to the other, a real thin layer, because plaque paper, it will adhere, but like putting it on glass, it's gonna spread a little. So just kind of keep that in mind. In a way, I learned to dab off the excess from one of the girls that I've been friends with for a long while, Sarah. Couldn't figure out why her pieces always looked perfect and the glue was never a mess. So I asked and she told. So this is gonna go just like this. Your wheel is gonna line up with this crevice of your star. So let's go ahead and glue that down. And I didn't really look at how much to glue, but that's fine. More is what we want. Less is not enough with glue, I found out. You really want it to stick to the surface. Let's flip it over, make sure, perfect. Okay, so I got enough where it needed to go, and we will turn it back over. Now let's put this little piece together, and I forgot her arms. We can add those now. That's all right, and she's almost finished. Let's go ahead and just, what I do is I make a line down with glue because I don't know how far these arms go down. So I just want to add enough glue to make sure that my arms are really on there. Yep, perfect. And I am going to add a touch of glue up here because it's probably going to overlap. And it doesn't matter which way you glue these down, honestly. There's a piece of my hair on there. Thank you. Menopause is great. I love hair loss. All right. You can put her sleeves on right as you glue her shirt down. I just didn't realize I had sleeves in my bucket. And in the pattern up there, you don't really see them clearly, and that's fine. And it's just because they fade into everything with the background. All right, so this is done. I don't know what that is. Let's see if I can erase it. No, it's just a thing in the paper, which is fine. So now this is going to go above here this way. And what I want to do is add, let's see if I can get one that's sticky. If not, we'll resort to that other really sticky stuff. If I add it right there, where's my tweezers, guys? I have done shuffled everything off this table, and oh, they're right in front of me. That's nice. I'm not used to having so many projects on my desk at once, and it's kind of funny because it's just not me. Nope, these don't want to stick. So let's go this way. So all in all, I guess you don't need to detail her hair. Goodness, you don't have to detail her hair because it's all going to be hidden. I'm still going to add glue to this, and we're going to add glue to the front. The reason I'm not putting foam tape on the front is because it's going to be sitting on that foam tape. All right, so it's going to go that far, approximately. Now we shall put her hand on it. I have to make sure that dries because it is on foam tape, and foam tape has their own adhesive on it. It does take a minute longer to dry with the foam tape. And now we will attach the hand right there. Now the sign, I did play with it a couple ways, and I wasn't sure which way I wanted to go. Is that showing up? Yeah. That was a bit too much for me, so I got rid of that idea. And I went with the black paper that has the glitter in it. It is on 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. They had just promoted it, and of course I had to get it. It does have glitter infused into the paper, so you don't have to glitter it. And I got it because I thought it would be great for some of the noses on my little bears and animals because I got different colors. I got pink and red, blue, black, you name it. And that is what all those little dots look like when you're done with them, with the Nuvo drops, just to add some pizzazz to it. And we are going to add our little faces to the side and then the stars. Just a little glue. You use a lot of glue doing this, even though you don't realize it. It's a lot of glue. Even though it's a little at a time, it's still a lot. There's no way around it. Because I notice I fill up my tube more often than I used to, but I'm also paper piecing a whole lot more than I used to. All right. We're going to put those there. We're going to add the little stars. And that's about it. She's done. And what I did is I added Wink of Stella to my stars here. But the little black stars go on there. And what I did for the Now Showing, it is in the tiniest letters ever. I resized it. I left the font the same. I just resized it so that way I could cut them out, because my Cricut said, not today, Gina. It was not going to cut out those fine little letters. It refused. And I wasn't going to argue with it because I've been using it all morning, and maybe, you know, Bella over there needed a break. And I call her Bella because she's big. You know, you would think the Maker 3 would shrink a little, but no. Bella is not as big as my HP Imagine, but she's big. And this piece goes, of course, on the back of here. All right, let's see if I can lift her hand some. Now you guys get to watch me work my magic with my boo-boos. And I still make errors, and here's proof. But most of the time I can save it. In my last video I showed you there was no way of saving that. So put the red end on your little yeller tube. The annoying cheerleading tube. I'm trying to line it up the best I can. And then we're going to glue it back down to the hand. And that is how you fix something that you've messed up, if you can. And if I couldn't have, I would have figured something else out, even if I would have used Red Nouveau or something. I would have figured it out, or I would have went in and traced my hand and cut it manually so it just fit around the hand. But there are ways around fixing boo-boos. This star goes behind her, and this lays over this, and then the little stars are random. But I will add the details to her after I'm done, and it'll be in the final picture, but the picture that is promoted on the beginning of the YouTube video. Look at me, I'm knocking everything over. I'm really having one today. This means it's time to quit. That's my final answer. See you later, guys.